Hello and welcome to On the Bench podcast, a podcast about scale models. So if you build aviation, naval, armour, automotive, sci-fi, fantasy, figures, this is the podcast for you. And hello and welcome to episode 1 of On the Bench. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at what's new in the modelling world, new releases. As well as that, we've got a special guest that we're going to be talking to. Somebody who actually managed to transfer their love of their hobby into a full-time job. That's Russ French we're going to be talking to very shortly. As well as that, we're going to be looking at Edouard Hellcats. And our co-host Ian is going to be talking about that. And also perhaps going to have a little chat about stashes. What's a stash? What's in your stash? And why do we have stashes? All that and more coming up soon.
Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
And hello and welcome to episode 200 of On the Bench, a podcast for scale modelers by scale modelers, all about scale models. And this episode is being brought to you by our latest Patreon supporters, Stefano Orris, Andrew Hass, Aussie Scale Models, Michael Hegarty, and Tom McCure. You too can help support the show, just like these fine gentlemen. Simply go to www.patreon.com/onthebench and pledge any amount from as little as $1 per month. Your contributions are greatly appreciated and help us with our hosting costs. And as a small way of saying thank you, we send all of our financial supporters an OTB sticker. Reaching 200 episodes would not have been so possible without the generous support of all of our wonderful Patreon supporters. So, we're giving back a little today. We've got 3 fantastic giveaways for our Patreon supporters, and that'll be coming up later in the show, and I'm sure you'll be as excited to hear about them as we are in giving them away. Also, of course, we can't forget our wonderful sponsor who's been with us for nearly the full 200 episodes, and that is Scale Model Supply and Scott Taylor. So let's hear what Scott's got to say.
Are you looking for top quality paints for your next project? Then look no further than the Scale Modeler Supply, Australia's hobby paint. Hi, I'm Scott, and as a passionate modeler myself, I've spent years creating the SMS product range, designing them specifically with the Scale Modeler in mind. We have worked extensively to develop our acrylic lacquer paint range to not only be airbrush ready straight out of the bottle, but also to be easy to use so that anyone of any skill level can create professional results with minimal effort. Just give the bottle a good shake, pour into your airbrush and spray at 15 psi. So dive into your next project with confidence, knowing that you're backed by one of the finest hobby paints on the market. Head over to our website at scalemodeler.com.au to check out our full range and to find your closest retailer.
And hello and welcome to the show, and in the studio for this huge, magnificent celebration of 200 episodes, I've got Ian.
G'day Dave, g'day Julian, g'day listeners.
And of course Julian's here.
That's right, I am.
Gentlemen, how are we?
Very good, thank you.
What's been happening?
I've got a few hours down on the Yamato.
Very good.
So I've got the base colours down on the hull and the deck.
Cool.
So I'm now attaching little hatches on the top of the deck.
Yep.
Spent 4 days trying to find a hatch.
What do you mean you lost a hatch, did you?
Yeah, you know, the old, you got it in your tweezers and all of a sudden, pa-ting!
Well, that reminds me, I need to go buy a new set of tweezers.
But I did find that hatch after I'd pretty much given up and started scratch building a new one, and then all of a sudden, of course, if you scratch building it, then you find it.
Yes.
Yeah. How big is it? The hatch.
The hatch. Probably 2 mil by 1 mil. Little
Both
rectangular
things.
hatch.
At least it's a rectangle.
Yeah, it wasn't like a weird shape, like a dome with little hinges. No, it was just like a flat hatch.
Well, it could have been like one of those hatches, that are sort of round at the top and bottom, right?
But it wasn't.
Very nautical.
Yeah.
I have been building cars.
Well, surprise, surprise,
Yes.
surprise. Hang on, wait. Let me do it again. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise.
All right. Anyway.
Anywho.
So I've mostly got the Mustang together.
Nice.
Been a
The
bit.
tang is ready to go.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a battle. Yeah.
Now, to be just to educate our listeners, you're building this especially for Scale ACT.
That's right. Especially for Scale ACT. Like when I came away from the last one, I did want to, because I didn't know going in that there was like a separate categories for Japanese and American cars.
Mm-hmm.
And I mostly only build the Japanese ones, so I was like, oh well, I could have made something American and put it in there.
But
And
haven't they wiped the categories out now and it's just cars? Because they've got the new...
Well, it doesn't matter because they've got like the
gold, silver,
I started
bronze.
building it for that, and
Okay,
I was
okay.
going to build an American car, and
Anyway,
then they brought out the whole thing, and
Yep.
they've got like this whole Mustangs thing going on. So
Oh, do they?
yeah. So that's what I built it for. It's
Okay.
it's specifically for that.
Cool.
Because generally, like for example, our Model Expo, there'll be like special sort of things, right? Like I think there's like
Subcategories.
sort of subcategories. Like you put things in various categories,
It's like,
but
a,
then
theme,
there'll be
like
like
a theme.
yeah. Like I think they've done in the past something like Australian aircraft
Mm-hmm.
or something like along those lines, or Australian subjects.
Yeah, I know at Scale ACT on previous years they had like Commonwealth aircraft.
And they still do have those
stuff like that.
specialised
Yeah.
categories as well, yeah.
So that you
Yeah.
can sort of win the category,
Yeah.
and then you also pick up an extra if you happen to win. Fall into that extra
Correct.
category
Yes.
kind of thing. Yeah, so that's why I started building this Mustang. It's an alright kit. Like I can't
It's a Revolt
fault it.
kit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched Brian build the Brian from
Small subjects.
no. It escapes me now. The Mostly Gundam podcast.
All right, yes.
Built sideways.
Sideways, that's it.
Oh,
It escaped me. Like it's early in the morning,
I
and
know.
I'm only at the bottom of my first cup of coffee.
that's true.
So yeah, I watched him build that, and that was he built the Cobra from Revell.
Yeah.
And that's an older kit. And
It is, yes.
It's kind
Was
of
it it's the 427 Cobra SC.
yeah. If you were
Yeah.
going to build a Cobra, you would build up. I believe the Fujimi kit is the better one.
Yes.
But that's not what he had.
Yes.
And
And,
so
if you ever want to build the 289 Cobra, I think you've got a choice of buying the AMT kit,
Mm-hmm.
which
Well,
is very ordinary.
Well, I mean,
I know, I've got it in my collection.
it's AMT. In any case, it's got weird things like steel axles that run through the middle of the model, which
Yeah.
is a pain for the front suspension because it means that they molded the front shockers with a hole in them for the metal bar to
Yes.
pass through.
Yeah.
So it's really, really rough. This is far beyond that. It's much better kit. That said, I have had a lot of hiccups. It's got some interesting choices in engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Like how generally with most of the Hasegawa kits, you build the interior as like a tub, and that sits in the
Yes.
bottom of
Yep.
the chassis bit, and then you lift the whole thing up into the body. This one, it gets you to glue the tub up into the top, into the body,
Mm-hmm.
and then you pull the chassis up into that.
Yep.
The problem is they give you like two attachment points, two little locating pins and everything for the rear portion of it. The front just doesn't have anything.
Just floats there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I added some glue and some super glue snuck up between the windscreen and the dash.
Oh, no.
Sucks to be a car builder.
Yeah. But fortunately, once you actually get, because the way these Mustangs are, once you got the bonnet on, the hood, I should say, if we're talking with for our American friends, it actually comes up really high and hides the all the wipers. That's why there's no wipers in the kit. They're just molded onto like the sort of upper bit there of the engine bay, and they're just completely hidden in there.
Yep.
And so that whole area where the glue had stuck up, you can't see it at
So
all.
what year Mustang is it?
71
Yeah.
Mustang. I think that people call it a Mach 1 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's the Boss version, whatever.
Yeah. Back when Ford decided to go really bad with their Mustangs.
I don't mind this one.
Not
Have
a
you ever
fan.
you ever seen
Not
the
a fan.
movie Death Proof?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a Mustang in that movie in the same color that I've done mine.
Ah, right. Now.
So it kind of,
Yep.
you know, it's from the way I built it. I sort of built it like with that one in mind, right?
Yes.
Because it was pretty striking. I mean, you know, Tarantino knows how to frame a muscle car, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Yes.
He does indeed.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? What have you been working on?
Well, I've been working on my Dongfeng 41, which is a Chinese intercontinental ballistic missile, which I'm struggling with because there's hardly any references online as to what the colour call-outs are, so I might just have to make it up and
Wing it.
paint it and wing it, yeah.
Oh, it's communist. Paint it red.
No, it doesn't quite work that way.
Make it just sharpen the point, really. Make it really pointy.
And what else? I got one of those little display electric sanders, which is
they're pretty expensive though.
The
aren't they?
Pensanders.
Yeah, no, they're not expensive. Well, some of the guys at the club found them online really cheap, and I'd already found it online cheap and bought it. I think it was like $30 or something.
Oh,
like that
that is really cheap. Yeah.
So I pulled the trigger and bought that, and just got to find a subject to actually use it on now.
Well, yeah, so one of the guys pointed out that if you buy it from AliExpress, because, you know, Disbay or whatever their name is, they've got like a special, they've got their own store on AliExpress.
Yes, they do.
And if you've made a fresh account and you haven't bought from that store before,
They try to tempt you back by having these discounts.
well, they do a lot of things. So one of the things they do is they give you like this heavy discount on the first time you buy it to hook you in.
Yep.
So you should always make a new account
That's a good idea.
every time you go to buy from them. and the other thing he mentioned was that they'll constantly try to tempt you by like dropping discounts on things. So if you just put it in your in your
Basket,
in your
just let it
cart,
sit there,
in
yeah?
your cart,
Yep.
yeah, it'll just sit there, and they'll just discount things all the way down. Apparently,
Well, there you go.
Some interesting news, that one.
yeah.
So that's about it, really, for me. I've been buzzing all week because we've been getting a whole heap of voicemail messages coming in from all our listeners about the 200th episode, and the guys from Plastic Model Mojo sent us something in the mail.
Oh, yeah, let's have a look. What they sent? Oh, it's a big
Well,
tube.
It's a big tube thing, and Kentucky Dave has been teasing me all week. He's been, I think he's just as excited as I am. And I hate something sitting there not opened. So this has been driving me absolutely nuts the last, I don't know, a week ever since it got here. So it's but I've got to read so it's come in a tube, and I've got to read the thing. So first of all, it's from Plastic Model Mojo World HQ. And he sent it to Digger Dave Goldfinch.
Digger Dave, yep.
So, and this is celebrating our 200th episode, and it's very kind of the guys to sort of think of us, and we really appreciate it. So, I'm now going to open it up because I wasn't allowed to open it up until we actually get on
There
the
better
show.
not be a rocket inside there.
Well, it's in a tube shape, so
Yeah.
let me see if I can.
Yeah, but there's more than just you on this podcast.
But I'm the most important person, so
Well, in your mind, yes.
in my allegedly lunchtime. So I've got a. I've got a scalpel blade. I'm just trying not to slice my finger open.
Well, it helps if you put the scalpel blade on its handle.
No, I don't do that because then you can have your. Oh, here we go. Hang on, wait.
Pop.
Oh,
So what do you
I
get?
hope it's not a spider, and I've got to reach in my hand to pull out the first thing. Oh, it's a card. Okay, let's read
You
the
got a
card
card?
first. You got to. That's a polite thing. Dear Dave, Ian, and Julian. Just a note to congratulate y'all as your 200th episode, on your 200th episode. Detail and Scale. Oh, Detail and Scale and Plastic Model Mojo. Hope you enjoy the enclosed. That's from Kentucky Dave.
Detail and Scale, one of my favourite publishers.
Well, let's find out now. I'm really tempted to write that. It's stuck there in the bottom.
Donk, 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 donk. You can hear him donking away.
He told me to open from this end, and now everything's... Oh, here it... No, I think I got my finger in there. There we go.
Here we go. He's got it. Nearly got it. Ooh.
That's it.
What do we get? We're all excited now.
I'm opening it up.
That's a big tube
It's a big tube.
for what doesn't seem like something that would fill that size.
Oh, no way!
What do we
And
get?
what it is...
Ooh, I like that.
It is a picture, a print of a boomerang, and the nose art
The
is
plane.
got the boomerang aircraft, World War II, Aussie construction, and it says, "Congratulations for you creating this space and for welcoming all of us who have entered it. Congratulations on your 200th episode. From those banjo picking whiskey sipping hayseeds from Kentucky, Mike Basket and Kentucky Dave, and from Detail and Scale, Bert Kinsey and Rock Rozak." And obviously this is something that Rock has designed. Oh my God, look at that.
That is amazing.
And
That's getting framed.
And the nose art is obviously our logo for our podcast. That is just...
That is
wow.
cool.
I am blown away.
The radio code too, Dave.
The radio code. Oh yeah.
It sticks out like a sore thumb. OTB.
Yeah. And of course the aircraft identification number, 2307-17 is when we first started.
Yeah. Well, that is great.
I
Thank you,
cannot
gentlemen.
believe what
Thank
they've
you,
gone into.
guys.
Wow.
That is just so cool.
Look at that. One each.
Oh,
That is sensational.
that's getting framed. That's going in the pool room.
Oh, it's going in the pool room for sure. Gents, we're actually blown away by this.
Yeah, definitely.
Where are you going to put it up in here?
Oh, look, I'll...
That wall over there?
Yeah, I've
yeah.
run the wall up here
Yeah.
behind us.
I'll rip that panel, couple of those panels off and...
Yeah, we'll have to get a photo of us with the poster and send it.
Oh, yeah, we will.
post it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Send it to Dave and the boys.
Well, we'll post it online.
Yeah,
That's fantastic. So, so humbled by that. Is
Yeah, that's awesome.
sensational. Wow.
That's really cool.
I want to read the card.
A bit of a tear in my eye now.
Oh, he's got all emotional.
All right, while I'm getting over my emotions, let's throw to one of the messages from. I'll just pluck one at random, and no, how about from Brian from Built Sideways?
Yeah.
So let's have a listen to what he's got to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, birds in the sky, and fish in the sea, my name is Brian from the Built Sideways podcast, and you are listening to the 200th episode of On the Bench. Amazing, lads, that you've had 200 episodes to continually talk about scale modeling. Everyone is agog. I am here with a bottle of Mike Basket recommended Russell's Reserve 10-year to drink a little shot with you lads and say, "Oi, cheers." And happy 200th, and let's hear another 200. Why the not?
Well, that was really nice of Brian, wasn't it?
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Cheers for that, mate. And I'll have a drink too for you when I get home.
It's only morning. You're only drinking coffee at the moment.
Yeah, I know, but I'll have one this afternoon.
I've got some grandfather port I can crack open.
Oh, no, thanks.
That was quick. That was the quickest no thanks I've ever heard.
We could always go and raid Michelle's vodka.
Nah.
I'll make you a nice cocktail.
I'll be getting into the fireballs.
Oh, I've got nothing here to make fireballs with.
Oh, fireball. I just buy a bottle and neck it. Like a true wino.
Jeez.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
great, that cinnamon stuff.
No. Do you really think so?
Yeah. Nothing like an alcohol that burns on the way down.
You know,
It's like a curry, but except with it doesn't burn when it comes out the other end.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
you know, I was talking to my old man about
Your father.
yeah, that's right, my father, and we were talking about boxed wine.
Oh, yeah. The
'Cause you don't
old
see that anymore.
goon bag, as we
Yeah.
used to call them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So,
I think they are still around. You can still buy
They
them.
were,
Of course,
they were really
no,
around.
they've been taken out of production.
Yeah,
now.
they were really handy because once you finished and you were that drunk, you could blow it up and use it as a pillow.
no way. Have they been taken out of production?
Yeah, I think they have. Yeah.
No, that's an Aussie invention.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
It's an
goon
icon.
bag,
It's an icon.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I guess we all got too classy for that sort of thing.
Speaking of alcohol, we received another wonderful gift to help us celebrate with our 200th episode from Paul Pendleton Brown, and he sent us a bottle of bubbly,
Oh, thank you, Paul.
and a little
Not a
note
box?
came with it. Sorry,
Not a box.
not a box of champagne, just one bottle. Dave, Ian, and Julian, congratulations on episode 200, keeping us entertained and paving the way for so many years. The first and the best. Here is the next 200. That's from Paul. And thank you very much for
cheers,
that.
mate.
Champers.
We will enjoy that.
Certainly will. We better drink it quick because Michelle's got her eye on it too. So.
That's a very Michelle kind of drink, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, it's either that or toss up with cocktails. So, but, you know, push her in a corner, she'll drink anything.
There you go.
You can only taste the first few, right?
Well, that's exactly right. Oh, gee, it's going to be one of those episodes. I
It
see
is,
that.
yes.
All right. Let's hear from another listener.
Hello, is that the council? When are you going to fix the bloody pothole? Oh, wrong one. Okay, so actually, guys, I just want to say thank you. You saved my life during COVID. Listening to you guys made me feel I had friends. What are they? And you've put a fire in my belly for plastic scale modelling. So thank you very much, and congratulations on your 200th episode.
Well, thanks, Adam. That's Adam Greenwald who sent us that one.
Oh, quite humbled with that. Yeah, thank you, Adam. It's, really appreciate that, mate.
And no, we're not the council. Speaking of which, they didn't pick up my rubbish bin this week. So I had to,
no.
yeah, and you can't ring them anymore. They've got this online thing where,
Yeah, so for that reason.
yeah, God, I got all my cables wrapped around my feet.
That's because you don't know cable management.
Couple of zip ties will fix that, Dave.
I can't because then I've got to pack it up because we're going off this weekend, or next weekend actually, to Canberra. So I've got to pack everything up again. So I'm slowly at that point now where I've got a duplicate of all the cables. The only thing I've got duplicate of obviously is the microphone, so I can just always have a ready go. I don't have to keep tearing down the studio when we go to.
Now, have you written down the password to your laptop?
Yes, I have.
Not like Queensland.
No.
You see Dave in panic mode. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to have to go buy a new laptop.
Oh gosh.
And then he remembered.
All right. We're going to have a chat with, actually, speaking of Canberra, we're going to have a chat with Peter now and get the latest goss and guff on what's happening in Canberra for the Scale ACT. So here we go. Let's have a chat with him. G'day, Pete. How are you, mate?
Yes, good boys. How are we?
Good. And
thank
just
you.
for the listeners at home, this is Peter, who's the president of the Scale ACT Club. And, of course, they've got their fantastic show on next weekend in Canberra, which we're all excited and fired up about and can't wait to get up there.
Yes.
It's going to be a big one, mate.
Yes, it's flat out. Obviously, the last couple of weeks ago, we've got plenty of people on the hamster wheel, getting everything ready for the weekend. So,
And how's all the organising coming on? Is it all set? Everything?
yeah, it's all. It looks like organised chaos earlier in the year, but it's all starting to fall in place like a jigsaw now. So, it's all tracking along very well, and everyone's very excited for next weekend and seeing all our travelling guests and friends that travel to Scale Act each year. So we're all very excited. So.
We've got about 6 guys coming up from my club alone who are making the trek up there. And it's amazing. I've had some feedback from guys who have gone there for the first time because they've listened to the show. And obviously, we always sort of say, get out there and get in there and just enter something. And again, we just repeat that call. It's such a great, friendly show. If you've never been to a show before and you live anywhere within a 2,000 kilometre radius of Canberra, you've got to be there next weekend.
exactly. No excuses. There's plenty of people from Perth apparently coming this year as well. So,
yes, there is. Yes.
Yeah, people from North Queensland, all over the place. So it's it's just great. There's the support we're building up. And look, it's gonna be great weekend again. And like you said, people that haven't entered a show, etc., with the new open system and the skills breakdown, there's definitely different skill levels. So you're not people haven't entered before, and you're not going to be up against someone that's been competing for years on end sort of thing. So I think it's really inclusive the way we've changed the competition this year, and it's catering for all skill levels and all types of modelers. So.
And I'm really excited about that. Now you can only enter online, so you must go online to enter. Entries close this coming Thursday, which is I want to say the 7th of November at midnight.
Correct. Yep.
And if people are having any issues with getting online on the day, can they get there and still enter if they're if they live in the middle of nowhere, haven't got the internet connection, can they still do that?
Exceptional circumstances, sort of thing. We're not going to turn anyone away, but we strongly hope that everyone can get online and do it, because there's already a lot of people organise and run these sort of shows know that the administration burden is huge over the weekend. So anything that can be done to streamline it for everyone that's working behind the scenes is greatly appreciated. So we really do push the online entries only, but obviously, some little kid rocks up and has missed the the call for online only or something like that. We're obviously going to make exceptions to get them in.
Of course. And you mentioned before the open system, and I've really got to shout from the rooftop how excited I am about this, not just for the actual show itself, but as we mentioned, just for first time entries, because like you said, you're no longer competing against another person. You're technically just competing against yourself, aren't you, really? Yeah,
correct. So we've I think, got a good balance. Obviously the skill breakdown and we have seen it with the numbers coming in those, sort of, apprentice and rookie sort of entry levels. It's been quite well supported already. So I think, those people that have potentially never entered a show or been too scared to enter a show, we've definitely seen some of those coming forward in the early numbers. Which is exactly what we want to be, inclusive and, have an event for everyone sort of thing. So that's already seeing that have a positive effect, which is great. And obviously, like you were mentioning about the skill levels, obviously each skill level will be graded differently. So people in Masters while it'll still be attainable to get gold, it'll be a lot harder than obviously those in the standard and the rookie level. So that's the breakdown, and I think we've got a good balance. We're still going to have a little bit of competitiveness there. We're still picking best of show, and in addition to that, now with the new system, we're also going to pick the best subjects, so best armored vehicle, best car, best aircraft, etc. Which I guess is a bit more of a competitive edge against your peers. So kind of covering off, hopefully on all of that. It's definitely not going to be. And I've had a few people reach out and say, "Oh, it sounds like it's a prize for everyone," sort of thing. It's definitely not. The standards, like I said, it's still the standards attainable, but it's not a given sort of thing. So, it's still, I think, each category we've been playing around with it over the last 3 or 4 months. The whole calculation behind it, and I think it's like I said, it's attainable. It's definitely not a prize for everyone sort of thing that some of the people have reached out and asked about. So. If you win, gold, silver, bronze, or best of show or whatever, it's definitely, I think, still gonna, you should still, hold your head held high, and it's definitely means something still.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't tell you how excited we are about coming up again. We're just jumping out of our boots over this because it's not just the actual show, and you've got some fantastic headline acts who are going to be there. And just to name a couple, I know that Matt Grice is going to be there with his studio scale. Nostromo, which I'm really excited to have a look at. You've got a whole heap of guys who are going to be doing some demonstrations. Our good mate Clayton Ockerby. Of course, you've got Lincoln Wright there as well, who's going to be there on the day. And it's just so many great sort of names within the Australian sort of modelling community who are going to be there and giving to the show, and also demonstrating their skills and passing on the skills. It's going to be a really, really great weekend.
Yeah, and we've plenty happening as well. In addition, obviously, to what you mentioned with action-packed, demo lineup again like last year. There's the Canberra figure. I'm going to get their name wrong, but I do apologise. There's a new Canberra figure painting group essentially, and they're doing a sort of a blitzfield figure painting competition over the weekend. So you pick a figure up on Saturday, bring it back for judging on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
So that's running, so there's a bit more happening there for people if they wish. The kids Gundam build table will be back again this year from Toy World Canberra, which it's a free little Gundam robot, the same as last year, that kids can sit down and put together and stuff while they're there. We have the Canberra Classic Motorcycle Club dropping off for a visit on Sunday morning with some, for those car models like Jules, etc. Might get a bit of excitement about some of those motorbikes. some of those motorbikes turning up on a Sunday morning just add a bit more, a bit more to that. There's a new Canberra Festival of Speed, which runs at Thoroughbred Park. They're going to have a tent out the front and a couple of nice cars that participate in that.
Well, for the listeners, last year there was a DeLorean there.
Yes, unfortunately that won't be back this year. He's got commitments, but yeah, we did have a DeLorean there last year as well. But he obviously had to travel back in time somewhere this year, so he won't be there.
Oh, I knew that joke was coming.
You knew that was coming. Oh, come on, Jules. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, it's like I said, these things don't happen with all the volunteers either. Obviously, everyone is probably sick of hearing my voice because you always hear about me and chatting about Scale Act and stuff. But there's a whole team behind me, of volunteers and committee people and stuff that make this event happen, and it obviously wouldn't happen without them either. So, huge community. It's been pretty much like these big shows. As soon as this one's out of the way, within a month or two, we're already going to be we'll be kicking off looking at 2025. So it's a big commitment, and like I said, we're looking forward to it. I hope everyone enjoys it. The change of format, it's a lot of people sometimes don't like change, but I'm sure it's already, the numbers are coming in, so it's already looking to shape up to be a great weekend. So
yeah. And I think the modelling community sort of demands this change in a lot of respects too, and it's so much more inclusive than perhaps first, second, and third. And as you said, we said at the beginning of sort of the interview, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat, that it's great for those guys who are coming in for the first time because you're not intimidated at all, because you're not going up against a world-class modeler who will always take first, because this time you're being judged on just your model against itself, which is, I think it's a sensational initiative, and super excited about it.
Yeah, no, we definitely are. It's like I said, shaping up to be a fantastic weekend, and can't wait for it.
And of course, there's Canberra After Dark as well, where we all go to various pubs and have long, great sessions, and it's just such a great feeling and sense of community that you guys are sort of formed up there.
Yep.
Where everybody from around the country gets together and we go out and we take over to the various pubs and just sit there and talk modelling stuff all night over a beer. It's great.
Yep, and make each other's ears bleed and head home happy in the morning.
And of course, my most favourite hamburger joint, what's it, Greasy Monkey?
Yes.
Grease Monkey.
Yes. They make great burgers there, as Ed and I know.
Yeah.
Mate, we're so chuffed, so excited, and can't wait to see you next week. And
plenty of traders still. I think we're still tracking at about 27, so there's going to be plenty of places to burn your cash. So yeah, there's going to be, like I said, swap and sell is back. It'll be upstairs this year for those that were there last year. It was downstairs, but there'll be plenty of signage, and obviously I'm sure people will sniff out the swap and sell anyway. You probably put it out the back in the horse stables and people will still find it. But and
I noticed you've got a media centre upstairs as well.
Yes, that's where we're going to have the retro race on the bench, and so you can look out over the venue and stuff, and it'll be right next to the demo room as well. So
sensational.
Yeah, you'll have plenty of people walking past still, and you probably catch the demo runners on their way out, etc. to drag them in for a chat and stuff as well. So
We can do straw polls as they come out.
yeah.
Exit polls.
Exit polls. Yeah.
Pete, look, thanks very much, mate, for coming on the show. And you do realise this is our 200th episode, and so our 201st episode is going to be reporting back from your show. So how's that?
200th episode. 100. I was 100th on the pod the other day. I'm just getting rolled out for the VIP events by the sounds of it now. So.
You don't let it go to your head, mate.
No, yeah. I won't fit out the door now. So.
Right.
I'll see. I'll see you all on the 250th episode, and no. Excellent. And again, thanks so much for your support and promoting the event. And everyone else out there that's been doing it, like Scott from FMS has been fantastic as well, and who's a supporter of your show as well.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff. So thanks to you and the boys for supporting the event again as well. So thank you.
No worries, mate.
We always get behind all the modelling community, and you guys just make it so easy to sort of want to be a part of this and to promote it. And it's just such a sensational weekend, and once again, we're just so excited to be up there and just can't wait and catch up with all our mates and just look around and talk models for the whole weekend.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome.
Spend money.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Pete.
Money, keep the traders happy. They'll come back. Excellent. Thanks, boys. Have a
We'll
good
see you
one,
next weekend, mate. Good on you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Well, I'm just so excited about next weekend. I just can't. I'm jumping out of my skin.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Oh, it's going to be huge.
Well, every year has been great anyway. We've enjoyed them all.
The only sad thing is we can't all go up as a group.
You mean like in one vehicle?
Yeah.
Like what, you want to get a bus?
No, I feel bad that you're going up someone else and...
Oh, right. Yeah, I get what you mean. But I mean, like, it's not like there's a car with 3 seats in the front, so someone's got to sit in the back.
Yeah, I know, but you know how small my car is, man. I mean, I have to get all my models and all my recording equipment.
I don't want to hear this from you, Dave.
The Galileo is quite a small vehicle.
Every time we've flown somewhere, he's been in like first class anyway.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. Yes, he snubs us off that way. He's a flight snob.
So don't give me this crap.
Flight snob.
Well, you guys had the opportunity to upgrade the premium if you wanted to, economy.
Yeah, but that would have meant less spending money over in the States.
Yeah, I just can't.
No, I will never do it.
Really?
Once you do it once, you can't go back.
Yeah, I know. I can't do anything over 8 hours in cattle class. I just can't do it. I just can't. I'm of that age now where comfort comes before speed.
Okay. It also comes down to like how much you're willing to spend, right?
Well, yeah, and I'm willing to spend.
That's it.
All right, let's have a listen from. Actually, let's have a listen from some of our guys who have sent in some messages. So we'll check this one out.
G'day, David, Ian, and Julian. It's Andrew Haas from Wollongong, New South Wales. I want to thank you for 199 great episodes, congratulate you on the milestone 200th episode, and raise a toast to plenty more to come. Thanks, guys. All the best.
Thanks, Andrew. And, of course, Andrew's just recently become one of our newest Patreon supporters, which is
good on you, mate.
Really cool.
And thanks for the kind words, buddy.
Yeah. Now, I want to play this one next and see if you can see who it is. So,
it's
check
a
this one out.
surprise us.
Yeah, it is.
G'day guys, Clayton here from Workbench Hobbies, checking in to congratulate you guys on your 200th episode. If I had to choose some of my favourite episodes, they'd probably be 151, 169, 175, and probably throw in 185 there as well. They seem to be your shining lights, and there just seemed to be that little extra something in those shows. I just can't put my finger on what it was. And some notable memories are that threat of late night karaoke on that first trip to Canberra, Julian's immune system failing him at the thought of every model show, Dave's mastery of the English... There's some irony. Dave's mastery of the English language. And of course, I'll never forget that moment Ian pulled out his shikaku and laid it on the bench for all to see. Quite magnificent. Honestly, though, that trip out to the studio to spend the morning with you guys is one of my fondest memories of 2023. Creating regular content is a tough gig and it takes a load of discipline and effort, and you are to be thanked for the connections you guys are making and the community you are building. And as I sign off every video, I like to say this is the greatest hobby in the world. Share it with your family and share it with your friends, and let's be proud of what we do. And you guys are certainly playing your part. Happy 200th, guys.
That was great. Thanks, Clayton. You're a legend, dude. Looking forward to catching up with you next weekend, mate.
Well, it hasn't, you know. How do I phrase this?
I don't know.
It hasn't escaped my notice how my immune system seems to fail me during all these model shows. It's so crap. I can't tell you how frustrated I am with it.
Well, now some exciting news. As you know, we have our Patreon Wheel of Fortune that we spin. Clayton has been gracious enough to give us a prize for our Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, awesome.
And what the prize is a one-on-one session with him.
Oh, wow.
So the winner of this...
Can I put my name in?
No, you can't.
Oh.
So the winner of this spin gets to have a one-on-one session with Clayton, and everybody who knows Clayton's YouTube channel, which is Workbench Hobbies. And I've got to say, it's my Friday nights are just the most perfect Friday nights.
They are, yeah. 6 a.m. Yeah, sorry, 6 p.m. I have my get my fish and chips.
Yeah.
And I sit down with my little stable table on my lap. I throw on YouTube, and I watch the latest episode of Workbench Hobbies. And, and I do say I like his little quick build on the Willie's Jeep this week. That was awesome.
Well, my Friday's slightly different because I go after Model Club and have a pizza there and catch up with all the lads. Then I come home and I watch Workbench Hobbies, and then I sit and watch the short Workshop Wednesday video.
Yep.
You know, have the shorter one on the Friday, and that's my Friday night.
That was complete. On the Stug this week, wasn't it?
No, it was on the ferret and
the dingo.
Yes. No.
Yeah, the ferret and the dingo.
No,
I watched it this morning.
This is a wildlife documentary.
No. The Canadian version of the ferret wasn't the dingo. It was something else. Dingo's different. So, anyway.
Well, we're at cars.
I don't think it was a ferret either. I'm going to go back and watch it now. All right, so we have all of our Patreon contributors loaded in. So let's spin the wheel to see who wins this fantastic prize of a one-on-one session with Clayton Lockerby from Workbench Hobbies. And the winner is Alexander Scubis.
Well done, Alexander. I'm so jealous.
And we've got two more fantastic Wheel of Fortune prizes to give away as part of our 200th episode celebration. They're going to be prizes which are just as great as the one we've just had. Before we go on, let's have listen to some more stuff from our listeners.
Hey, Austin Fields here, a.k.a. Spoons from Sprues with Spoons. First of all, shout out to Dave. Thank you so much for being a part of my video I put together for IPMS Nationals this summer. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I'm glad you gave me some of your time. I'm really grateful for that. And congratulations, boys, on 200 episodes. I found you guys when I got back into modeling. Shortly after that, I was nailed with a cancer diagnosis. So when I was going through some of the roughest moments of my life and I wasn't healthy enough to be at the bench modeling myself, I knew I could rely on you three clowns to yuck it up about the hobby. So, you kept my spirits high. You kept my mojo rolling. So thank you so much for everything you've done and everything you've inspired for the hobby. Follow up, Dave, I still haven't got a shipping address for this 1/200 scale Yamato. We're going to send you for your bicentennial. It's bought and paid for. I just don't know if you have like a P.O. box down under or your home address, or you guys get it. You have a separate studio you want it shipped to. But yeah, I got a pretty sweet kit here sitting and waiting. So get back to me and I'll send it your way.
Look, thank you very much for the offer of a 1 in 200
Hey, I'd build
scale.
He only likes his 200 scale ships in waterline form.
Yeah, that's Dave.
No.
That's a great message.
It's not happening. Yeah. Look, thanks, Austin. And it was wonderful to meet you over in the US on my last trip over. A great guy, and we had some really good laughs actually while we were over there. So it was really cool to catch up.
That is really cool.
All right, let's have a listen to the next one.
Hey, it's Brendan Wrigley from the Rockhampton Scale Modelers Association here in Rockhampton, Central Queensland. Just wanted to give you guys a massive congratulations on your 200th episode. It's a fantastic milestone, and I appreciate all the passion and hard work you've all spent to build your podcast brand. You guys have definitely kept my modelling passion burning brightly. Congrats again. Looking forward to 200 more episodes in which we'll hopefully see Dave being converted into a car modeler. P.S. Bring back Ubiquitous. Thanks, guys.
Yes, you can't have enough of ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous. And you say, I'm the one who butchers the English language. They're a great bunch of guys up there.
They are awesome. Yeah, we met them up in Queensland.
Yeah, we did. And their show, I do believe, is the first one on the Australian calendar because it's in February.
Yes.
I want to say off the top of my head. And, I'd love so much to get up there and...
Well, we will.
Yeah.
We will.
Model train in a pub. I just can't stop dreaming about it. I think it's a great idea.
Sounds so awesome.
All right. Let's have a listen to the next one.
Yeah.
Hey, Benches. Christian here from Melbourne, Australia. Congratulations on 200 episodes. What a magnificent achievement and what a wonderful indication of the influence that you've had on the hobby. Being the OG guys, you've helped to inspire and create a whole generation of modelers who get their information from podcasts and YouTube channels, etc. What a wonderful thing it is that you've done and set up, and 200 episodes shows exactly the kind of value that the modelling community has on what you do. You guys have great chemistry together. It's always interesting and fresh. It always gives me a laugh, and I just can't wait for the next 200s. Congratulations, guys. Well done. And good luck into the future.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah, that was nice of you, Christian.
Yeah.
It's it's a change to have him say something nice about me, actually. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's have a listen to the old snail mail or email stuff. So it comes from Jamie Adamson, who writes, "Hello, gents, and you too, Dave. Congratulations on number 200, and thank you for being one of my bench ride or dies for the last several years. Keep up the great work. I've included some pics of my latest build as a monument to our recently departed fur baby. Thanks again." It's Jamie Adamson from Fiddly Bits Scale Modelling on Facebook. And he's got a little Fiat car that he's built.
Oh, and his little cat.
With his little pussycat on top. Yeah. That's a nice build.
That's a little bath.
Check out the dice. He's got a picture of
it's huge fluffy dice.
That's a huge dice.
Yes. Very cool.
Very cool. Thanks, mate. All right. Our next one comes from Mark Davies, who writes in, "G'day, Dave, Ian and Julian. Thanks to the three of you and your many guests for the 199 shows we've enjoyed so far, and my sincere congratulations on delivering 200 shows without becoming repetitive or dull. I reckon you should carry on with your winning formula as long as you continue to enjoy it. I hope it never becomes a monster ruling your lives through too many commitments and too much administration. I suspect many would be surprised at how much effort goes into making what you do seem effortless. Without doubt, you continually deliver the most enjoyable and entertaining show of all the English language modelling podcasts, albeit delivered in Ausspeak. So permit me a Chichilian moment to say, never in the field of scale model I've stuffed that up.
Of course you have.
Read it again.
Never in the field of scale model podcasting was so much owned by so many to so few.
There you go. Cheers. That's from Mark. Thanks
mate.
Buddy. All right, let's do one of our other ones. So
yeah, let's listen
check
to
this one out.
Yep.
Hello, David, Ian, and Julian. Happy birthday. Major milestone for you guys, and loving everything that you do. I'm a modeler who is quite recent to modeling after a very long break. So I'm in my mid-50s, and I last made a model when I was about 14. So I've just come back to it this year, and I'm loving it. And the question I want to pose to the three of you is, if you could go back to your 14-year-old self, what advice would you give them now that you have many years of experience in modeling under your belts? Hope that proves to be the start of some deep thinking for you. Okay, happy birthday, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Dermot. Really appreciate that. But clearly you don't know us well enough, because deep thinking is not something we're really good at.
Well, if I went back to my 14-year-old self, the first thing I would say, I would give myself a good clip around the ears and say, patience. You don't have to build it in one day.
Well, that's true. But you don't do
Back
that
then
now,
I
though.
did.
Yeah, okay.
Back then I did. I'd open a box and I would be determined to finish that kit by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I would not give myself any advice.
Oh, really?
Because I know I wouldn't listen to any of it.
You're stubborn enough to go, I'm not listening to this old fuddy-duddy.
Yeah, well, I did the same thing like you just said. Like, I had zero patience. And I did things very poorly.
Yeah.
Like, I was even disappointed in the results at the time. So... But I wouldn't have listened. I would have still done it the same way, because I just could not fight my impatience.
Well, I remember I used to hang out with one of my mates. We used to hang out together, and occasionally on a Saturday night, if we weren't doing anything, we'd get together and we'd build a model each in that night.
Wow.
It was a fun night.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the mornings, you'd look at what you built and went, oh, my.
Gee, for me, I can't think of anything that I'd say to myself.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to ruin that sort of early sort of freedom
and passion. Yeah.
You know, you know that sort of where you don't that time when you weren't worried about the results.
When you were naive enough just to do it.
Yeah, you just wanted to have fun, and you just sort of found your own way through things.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I wouldn't want to infringe upon that with adult, sensibility.
Yeah.
And it's part of life's journey that, you've got to go through certain steps to get to where you are. And I can't think of anything I'd say to my younger self in regards to I can certainly about shares and house property. So I'd be a multi-millionaire 6 times over if I knew back then what I know now. But for modelling side of stuff, no, because it's when you're. What am I trying to say? You got to take steps and build upon what you've already learnt.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
and
it's a learning curve.
It's a bit hard to sort of go back to yourself and sort of jumpstart the process and say, do this or buy that. And, because back then I was more interested in other things than I am now, because now I'm into, science fiction and real space.
Yes.
But I'm still collecting and buying a whole heap of armour stuff, which I hope to tackle one day. When I don't make a fist of it. So, it's. I think I'd leave it alone.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for that, mate.
Yes.
Let's have a read of some listener mail. Perhaps we'll continue on. And Thomas McCure, another one of our recent Patreon supporters, just joined the team. And he writes, good morning, Dave, Ian and Julian. Over the course of 200 episodes, I've heard you talk about UV glue multiple times. I often use UV glue as a gap filler. It sands very easily and does not outgas and leave pits in the surface. As far as the light source goes, I originally used a flashlight and I had the UV option. That did not work very well. I suspect the frequency of the light is an important consideration. I then ordered a couple of gooseneck UV lights that I could position over the glue, but they took a long time to have any effect. About that time, I discovered Display Tools and ordered their UV light. Oh, I didn't know they did one. It works perfectly and takes very little time to cure the glue. The only problem I have is that since I started using UV glue, is it does not like IPA. If you soak your model in IPA in order to remove a bad paint job, the IPA will attack the glue and soften it up. Have a great day. That's from Tom McCure, PE's best friend.
Good on you, Tom.
Well, it's interesting that this comes in at this time because I've just started experimenting with resin as a gap filler. And I, like Tom, had a very small and I suspect very weak and useless little flashlight.
Yeah.
So I went out and bought a great big one that you plug into 240 volts and I read a bit of stuff online. And I think it's got to be the sweet spot between 40 watts and 60 watts of the UV light that it really sort of kicks it off.
Plus, you don't want to have kids anymore anyway, so it doesn't matter how big your light source is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I took care of that many, many years ago, yeah. So I've been using that to gap fill. The problem is, the smell's still a bit, and even after using that UV light, I still find that I like to use the sun as a final sort of finish off.
Oh, yeah.
But that's for resin, whereas Tom's using it for UV glue. And I'd be interested to know the difference is. So I did a bit of research. I think between 40 watts and 60 watts is a sweet spot for UV light. I'd be interested in having a look at those display UV lights to check them out as well. And of course, I've got my curing station for my 3D printer that I can chuck it in afterwards and
that's right, yeah.
spin it around and do that. But because I'm building sort of long, skinny things, it's very hard to sort of sit there as it spins around. It falls over.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Makes a problem.
Yeah. So there you go. Thanks for that. Gordon Stymans writes in, "Hi Aussies, just want to thank you chats for reading out our lengthy show ad and really appreciated. Thanks from one Antipodean to another." That's Gordon. And if you recall, we were talking about the Austin Scale Model Society show that I want to say it's been over and done with now. Oh, no, it's coming up. I beg your pardon.
November 9th, 2024.
November 9th, 2024. So that's next weekend. The same weekend as Scale ACT.
At the Williamson County Expo Centre from 9 till 5.
Which is at 5350 Bill Pickett Trail, Taylor, Texas. There you go.
Yes.
If you want more information, go to austonsms.org and you'll be able to find out all the info there.
Yep.
Sounds like a cracking show.
Definitely.
Now, I'm going to really butcher this, and I suspect...
Anti-Pokila.
There you go. All right, that'll do. Hello, gents. First of all, congratulations on the excellent podcast reaching 200 episodes. That is quite a milestone. You have a great mix of interesting topics with added humour when it nowadays seems that some people take this hobby way too seriously. Your podcast and others caused me to do something I've never done before. For the last 2 years, I've taken some of my models to a hobby show. I haven't won anything, but more importantly, I haven't been laughed at and I have gotten some great tips and comments. Again, congratulations on episode 200, and may there be many more good episodes in the future. That's from
Anti-Pokila.
From
Seino Jockey
in Finland.
I probably butchered it too. My apologies. My finish is not too good.
P.S. It was quite a cold winter sitting by the mailbox waiting for my OTB sticker to arrive.
Which is still not arrived.
Yeah, it's okay. I've reached out to Auntie and we've got that all sorted out now. There's another one flying across the world to him now.
Lovely.
So,
lovely.
I'm glad he went to the show, and I can't sort of push this enough. If you've never done a model show before, by all means go and just have a crack.
And if you don't feel comfortable, like you think you're not going to get laughed at.
No.
And if anyone does laugh at you, they're going to be ostracised severely by the whole community. I can tell you that. You'll come out looking golden, and they'll come out looking like crap.
Exactly right. Yeah, and I don't think there's any of that goes on too much anymore.
No.
So, and it helps too if you perhaps hook up with a local model club if you've got the opportunity to do so, because then you can go along with a couple of guys who are also like-minded And it's just a great time.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yep. And even if you don't enter a model, just pop in and have a look around.
Yeah. And take your wallet because you'll probably end up spending money.
That's exactly right. All right, let us have a find out who else has sent us
a message.
Hi guys, this is Ethan from San Diego. I want to first thank you for 200 episodes. Holy crap. 200 episodes of modeling goodness. And second, I want to thank you guys for being the first in a constellation of amazing modeling podcasts that have just taken the hobby to new heights that were undreamt of before. And also, I want to thank you guys for talking about ships once in a while, because let's face it, ships are awesome and more people should build them. I hope for many, many, many more episodes. And once again, thank you guys. Take care.
Cheers for that, mate. That's great.
Yeah, I caught up with Ethan at Wisconsin.
Yep.
And great guy. Good builder, good ship builder.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree, yeah, ship models are awesome.
Ship models are cool, man. Yeah. And we don't talk enough about it. But we've got a fantastic shipbuilder who we're catching up with next weekend, and I hope to have him on the show for a particular episode. We're looking at doing something a little bit different this year with particular themes throughout the year, and we'll circle back to ship modelling for sure.
Oh, so definitely.
That's one of the things that I want to...
So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. All right, next cab off the rank.
Hi, guys. Greg Williams here from West Alexandria, Ohio, Patreon member. Just want to say congratulations on hitting 200 episodes. I did get to meet Dave at Nationals this past summer, and Ian and Julian maybe another time, hopefully. That's all I had to say. Once again, congratulations, and hopefully 200 more.
Thanks, Greg. And I think I do remember catching up with you. I met so many people at Madison. It was it's hard to put a face to the name sometimes, but yeah, thanks very much, mate.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, really excited now. We're going to be having a chat with Scott Taylor, so stand by. We'll be with you very shortly. And welcome to the show, Scott Taylor from the Scale Model Supply, and I'm very excited to have Scott on for our 200th episode because we've had a very similar trajectory. We started very close together, and Scott has been our stalwart. How's that for a big word?
It is for you. It is.
Has been our stalwart supporter and throughout the nearly 200 episodes now, and we just can't thank you enough, Scott, for all the support you've given the show over all these years.
No worries at all, guys. How's it going anyway?
Yeah, good. We're having a great
buddy.
time.
Yeah.
We've got a whole heap of listeners who have been sending us messages that we've been playing. We're just having a great time at the moment in the studio.
Oh, that's good. I congratulate you on your 200 episodes. It's been a bit of a journey for all of us, to be honest.
Well, it has. I mean, and your rise has been meteoric. Meteoric. Thank you. You know, you started as a little sort of cottage industry, and you've gone to be this big worldwide phenomenon now with your paint range that you've produced. And I know it sounds sappy, but I just love your paints because they just work so well for me every single time. They never sort of fail me. And if anybody hasn't tried it before, and this is not a paid advert, if anybody hasn't tried them before, I highly recommend you give them a crack because they're just sensational stuff. You get sensational product. But not only that, you know, you're always there online on Facebook, and when somebody pops up with a question or a problem, you're there to answer it as well, which is, that sort of customer service is hard to come by these days.
Yeah, well, I try to get onto things as best I can because, like, as you know, we're 100% believe in our products, as you would. But, like, if anyone has an issue at all, I just want to make sure they understand, how to use the product in the best way possible so they can get the best results. Because, in the end of the day, I want everyone to enjoy their modelling process, and if it helps make their modelling easier, I'm quite happy to be there whenever they have a problem, have a question, anything at all.
And on top of that, you're a fantastic supporter of the Australian modelling show scene as well. You're always there and always supporting all the major shows that even some of the minor ones that pop up as well.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. Cause I come from the background as well. I'm a modeller as well, so I like going to these shows. And over the years, I see ebbs and flows, and shows become popular, and then they die off, and they become popular again. So, and they've always struggled for sponsorship and support from companies to keep them going. So now that I'm in a position to help, that's what we like to do, even if it's just something as simple as giving away some prize packs to encourage people to enter the show. Also, we last few shows we've done limited edition colours. The whole idea behind the limited edition colours was, again, to get people to come to the shows to get these limited. This is the only place you can buy these paints or things at the show, so that people have to come to the show to get them. So to come to the show, they've got to pay. They've got to pay entry to get into the show. Then while they're there, they might as well enter a model into the competition too, just have a bit of fun, and then they can check out everyone else's models and be a part of it, and hopefully foster a whole new generation of people coming through to be part of these shows and keep them going for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it's a great initiative you got there, and I salute you for that. It's just it's great to be able to give back to the hobby, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's for years I used to go to shows and be part of it in that sense, but it's like as we've become the behemoth we've become in Australia with our product range. That's probably the easiest way to put it. It's good to be able to give back and help promote the hobby that we love.
You got anything new stuff coming down the track? Any sort of new stuff you're working on?
Tons.
Anything you want to share with us?
Maybe. No, we're always working on stuff because we're always we're looking for new exciting things that are different, things that other companies don't do, just so we can be set apart from everyone else. We've got a heap of new pearls and colour shifts that I've been testing out. They've sort of been our go-to product range for most people. Everyone has blacks and whites and German colours and US colours and things like that. But not a lot have the range of pearls and colour shifts that we do. So we're looking at expanding those ranges again. We've found a couple of new suppliers that have been able to supply us with some really unique pigments that I've never seen before.
Ooh.
Okay. So working on that sort of stuff. There'll be some sort of announcements coming up over the next month or two on some new exciting colours coming out.
Wow,
Very cool.
That's very exciting. That's very exciting.
Cool, yes.
Any word on if you're going to have any special colours for the ACT show?
We'll be doing the same one we've been doing for the last few shows, so the black, grey, pearl. So I'll have a heap of those. And there's another one I'm hoping to have production done in time so I can bring a few special ones as an early release. That's going to be a limited edition of colour as well, but it's going to be a little bit different this time. That's going to be available through retailers eventually.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we'll be looking at doing it at a limited early release for Canberra. I'll just try and get the production done this week.
Busy week ahead, mate.
Well, you've got 4 days, not including the weekend.
I head out on Friday, so I'll get 5 days. 5 days to get it done.
Yeah.
Lucky I've packed all the stock for the show already, so I've got that part done.
That's good. Smart thinking, mate.
Well, we look forward to seeing you up there next weekend and catching up with you again and maybe having a beer on Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely.
Before
I go, I must mention as well to all our UK listeners, next weekend is also Scale Model World at Telford.
Yes.
And our product range will be heavily featurely there through our friends at distributors through Albion Alloys and other retailers, including Rome Model Centre. So our entire range will be there. Plus, there'll be demonstrations running all weekend as well.
Oh, there you go.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So go and check it out while you're at Telford. Go and check out that SMS paints.
Yep, you won't be disappointed.
No, you certainly won't. Mate, thanks very much for being on the journey with us. We appreciate, again, your support, not only to our show, but to the modelling community in general. It's been a great journey for you. It's been a great journey for us. And let's hope we're still around for another 200, so we can do the 400th one.
No worries at all, guys. I'll
No,
catch you next weekend.
Will do, buddy.
Thanks,
See
mate.
ya.
It's always good catching up with Scott.
Yep.
Such a gentleman.
Yes, and
Yes.
I've been using the Japanese naval colours on the Yamato, and I've got to say they're really nice paints to use.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, nothing like being able to paint a hull and then 5 minutes later being able to pick it up.
Yep, exactly.
That's what I love about it so much. It's so quick. It dries so quick.
Yeah,
and
and it's and it doesn't bleed under masking tape or anything like that. It's just
I still
great
remember the
paint.
old days when I used to use guns.
Yeah.
You'd spend that much more time just sort of, thinning and then dialing it in.
And I remember also with the guns, like
And you're a big guns guy.
yeah, and like I'd
he
paint
still
something
is.
and I gloss everything. Well, I'm old school gloss
Yeah,
before
yeah, yeah.
decals, right, and then gloss after decals.
Mhm.
And then you put the flat coat on, and it looked great. And then a month later, you'd be looking in the cabinet, and it's gone to like semi-gloss again.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just takes the guns so long to gas out.
Yeah.
Whereas with the SMS, bang, 5 minutes, you're right as rain. The stuff's just great. It's bulletproof.
Well, yeah, I mean, the other thing is that, aside from the fact that they're pre-thinned, which, as a lazy modeler...
Yeah, it's good in there.
Having talked to, Will about that and how, because he still dials it in with, makes finer adjustments with the thinners and stuff like that. I don't do that. I just shoot it. I don't care. I don't care.
But I actually still do thin it.
I don't.
Well, it depends. Okay, it depends on the application. If it's white, I don't thin it. I'll just go bang, just shoot it. And if it's like a yellow, I'll just shoot it. But the other colours, if I want to sort of creep up on a particular shade, I will thin it.
I've never thinned it, not even once.
And it works well with unicorn tears as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason why it wouldn't.
No.
It's all. I mean, like any sort of that sort of lacquer paint, it'll work with. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember the old days when I used to paint with guns and stuff, and to me on the odd occasion, how it's like, okay, I'd get home from work, I'd paint one color, and then I'd leave.
Yep.
Because there's nothing else you can do.
Well, I managed to paint on the Yamato in one day.
Yeah.
The anti-fouling red, the Kure Arsenal grey, and the Japanese teak deck colour.
Yeah.
All in one day. And that masking, and actually it wasn't even a day, it was probably in a matter of 2 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy how much
The thing
more
that took the
productive
longest
you
was,
can be.
Yeah, the thing that took the longest was masking.
Yeah, exactly. The masking is such a chore now, by comparison.
Yeah. But you mentioned Will before.
Yes.
But geez, his Spitfire's coming along so nicely, isn't it?
Yeah. It's been so long since we've spoken. We've got to get back.
Yeah, we've got to get Will
Yeah, I
back
know.
on.
It's been ages since we spoke to him.
Yeah, that Spitfire's just so. And I just love the nose on it. It's just that multicoloured nose just really sets it off.
I don't know about the nose. I just greats for me.
No, I like it's unusual.
I know it's unusual.
That's
That's
what
what
I
I
like
like
about
about it.
It's great.
But, yeah.
I'll tell you what, he's really nailed the exhaust staining too. In my opinion, he's done such a great job. And I don't know if you noticed, but he's actually when you look at the photos, have a look at his actual exhaust pipes. And have a good close look at them. They are really, really spot on.
Okay.
So, Will, if you're listening, keep it up, mate. You're doing a great job.
Since we're still on the sort of just after talking to Scott, I just want to make it known again that the yellow ochre from SMS is a match for one of the stock colors for those Mach 1 Mustangs. That's what I painted it in. And now that I'm this far along where it's almost finished, because I've only got like the rear bumper section and wing mirrors and things. Yeah, it's a really nails that color.
Very cool.
I mean, it just happens to be the same. I mean, it's Ford Australia versus Ford USA, but I imagine that they take a
colours would be very close. Yeah.
It's also that era, right, where there were certain color palettes.
That
were popular, right?
Yeah.
Like you can look at car colors nowadays, and like every manufacturer has the same sort of silver, gunmetal grey, black and white, you know.
Well, it was the 70s. 70s, we came out with lime greens and pink and pinks of all colour. Like pinks. Who would think of
and
painting a muscle car?
browns
pinks?
and...
Yeah, browns. Don't get me started on browns.
You know, I've got a few of the... a couple of the sort of more... What do you call them?
Esoteric?
No, like sparkly colours from SMS.
Mm-hmm. Colour shift.
Yeah. The ones for the Fords and stuff from the 70s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what's it that weird purpley pink colour?
Yeah, like a magenta sort of.
I forgot what the name is. They've all got like these stupid names from the 70s, like plum whatever. What's that one that you?
Oh, plum crazy.
Yeah, plum crazy, and all these wacky color names, right? I've got a few of those, and every time I go to paint a car, I look at those and go, should I use one? Nah, probably not this time. Next time, next time.
But I reckon when it came to wacky names, Games Workshop really with some of their colour names. Like, who comes up with snot green, vomit brown?
Well, those those are quite straightforward. They've gotten a bit more sophisticated since then. They've actually named them after various things in the Warhammer universe, at least.
Very true.
All right, let's move on. We've got some more listener mail. So, Dave, Ian and Julian, congrats to you three for 200 episodes. That's an outstanding achievement and a testament to your camaraderie. Great subjects every 2 weeks and the Aussie way you come across your listeners. You guys have been there for me since the COVID lockdowns, spending my time in the freezing garage during the Melbourne winter doing what I love while you guys put out an episode a week. It was a real joy to have you three gracing the airwaves, serving what was almost unknown podcast subject back in those days. And since then, you have grown even stronger. Recently catching up with Dave and Ian up here in Brisbane for QHME show was a blast, and finally meeting Ian and having a cold one over lunch for a chat and a laugh. Thank you all for what you've done for the hobby. We appreciate it. And here's to another 200 episodes. Long live the pod. That's from Ben Flood.
Oh, Ben, you legend, mate. Yes. And that figure has got pride of place in my cabinet too, mate.
Another email.
It's from Andrew Haas again.
Yes, it is. Just want to say good day and thank you for the excellent podcast. I started listening to you guys just after Scale ACT 23, but not long after return to the hobby. Slowly going through the back catalogue now, up to 30 episodes as I write this. I'm an ex-grunt, 6 RAR, and now professional firefighter. While I'm not confined to any genre, I seem to do more World War II armour than anything else at the moment. Scale ACT 23 is my first ever show, and Clayton Ockerby had encouraged me to put something on the table, so I did. A 48 scale Tamiya Panzerkampfwagen 38 T. I entered it in the category for newbies. It was an accomplishment in defeating self-doubt, let me tell you. Usually one to sit back quietly, I also plucked up the courage to say hello to Dave, who enthusiastically showed interest in my entry, asking me to show it to him. It's quite basic with no weathering modulation, etc. Just a plain German grey tank. But Dave, you made me feel like $1 million with your interest and encouragement. In one of your shows earlier this year, read an email from a listener who expressed exactly how I felt before attending the show. A tad shy, full of self-doubt about putting my model in a comp or fitting in, wondering if I would enjoy myself, etc. My advice to him or anyone feeling the same doubts or trepidations about attending any model show is to jump in, put a model in the comp. Don't be scared to talk to people or ask them questions. It can be a bit intimidating, I know. During the show, I met Clayton in person, and he has been an excellent mentor ever since. I also met Lincoln Wright, Sam Dwyer, and of course the Podfather himself. It ended up being an excellent 2 days in Canberra, and I'm so glad that I went. I booked my accommodation for this year's show as soon as the show days were announced. Since then, I've attended the New South Wales show in Illawarra, joined the Illawarra Plastic Models Association, met a great bunch of guys who I'm joined up with to go to Scale ACT 24 and also part of this group build. And also part of Clayton's Patreon community, and his encouragement has aided me in doing all of that. Last year, I wasn't aware of any evening social gatherings in Canberra, so I'm looking forward to sharing an ale or two with my fellow modelers. My accommodation happens to be not too far from Lonsdale Street, so I chose well.
You did, yes.
Link After Dark has me also intrigued. Let me tell you, Link After Dark is an experience.
Yes, totally
it's really cool. Finally, congratulations on reaching 200. It's an important milestone and one you guys should all be proud of. It might sound corny, but you have touched the lives of thousands across the globe in a really positive way and kept us entertained in the typical laconic Aussie style. So keep up the banter, the butchering of names, the tips, the interviews, the fortnightly entertainment you all look forward to. Here's to 200 more. Love your work and catch you in November. And that's cheers from Andrew Haas. There you go.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, mate.
We'll have a beer with you, mate.
We will. William McCulloch writes in, good morning, benches. I know that I'm woefully late for this to happen in time for the 200th episode, but I think Dave needs to build and launch a scale model Saturn V. There are some materials used in these kits that many scale models are not accustomed to. The process of building one of these is not difficult for most experienced modelers. I'm confident that Dave can complete a beautiful build with a myriad of resources available these days. There is no feeling like launching a model that you have spent weeks of perfecting. And I'm watching it crash, I imagine, as well.
No, they got parachutes, Dave.
As you count down, you are ticking off all the critical tasks that, if not done correctly, will result in your masterpiece re-kitting itself on the way up. Oh, jeez. If your build is solid, you wonder if you read the motor lot number correctly, hoping it does not catastrophically fail, resulting in a rapid disassembly of your masterpiece. The regulations down under may be a bit more restricted here in the US and make this a bit of a bridge too far, but I've also included a link to the Estes website, cleverly ensuring that it is the page with all the real big space kits you can build into an incredible scale model. Thank you all for sacrificing some of your own bench time to produce OTB. It's always fun to listen to. Hearing Julian and Ian expound on Dave's impeccable pronunciation of names from around the world never fails to entertain. Podcasts have become an important part of my modelling experience. The worldwide reach of the medium has opened my eyes to products, resources, techniques, and perspectives that I may not have discovered otherwise. It has also introduced me to people that I've never met, but whom I now have an instant connection if we ever manage to cross paths. Here's to another 200 episodes. Bill McCulloch, thank you, from Georgia, USA.
Thanks, Bill. There's some kind words. And Dave, there's a good idea. I reckon you should do a rocket that works.
When my boys were young, I actually went and bought some of those rockets that you launch, and I don't mean it's a lot of fun.
Right.
I don't know. I'd have to check up the rules and regulations here in Australia as to what you can build, because let me tell you, a 72nd scale Saturn V.
It'd be freaking huge.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to wonder how many engines you'd have to buy to actually for it to lift off the ground.
Mate, I reckon if you took one of them out in public and launched it, you'd probably have the feds after you.
Probably.
Also, we have you'd have to do it in winter or something, because in summer,
in summer, it'd be too dangerous.
Yeah, we have
You don't wanna start
we have fire bans and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And the place you'd most likely do it is our model club, which is
yes, it's also an airdrome, model airdrome.
Yeah, model airdrome.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, it's a good idea actually.
And you can video it for the listeners.
There's just a lot of there's a lot of grass around that area, so you definitely couldn't. That's the absolute worst place to fire it off in summertime.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
You just set fire to half the state.
Yes.
All right, let's have another listen to one of our listeners.
Mark Davies, aka Kiwi Kit Basher, Auckland, New Zealand. Never, in the field of scale model podcasts, was so much owed by so many to so few. Thanks very much and congratulations on your 200th episode. Excellent effort. Well done.
Good on you, Mark.
Oh. All right, let's read one out now.
That was great.
Augustine Castillo writes, we met Augustine up in Queensland.
We did, yes.
G'day, Dave, Ian and Julian. I know this is way too late, but I wanted to say a huge thanks and so awesome to put a face to the name at QMHE. Was a true privilege to be invited onto the podcast, and I hope I might have inspired a few more fellas like me to get involved in the hobby. Crazy thanks to Dave for the SMS paints and hoping to use them soon. Again, so good to have finally met you guys and hope to see you again at QMHE or even Melbourne Model Expo one day. You guys have been a great scale modelling inspiration for me and looking forward to every episode. Good luck and looking forward to the big 200. Best of luck, cheers, and beers. Hang on, he's too young to drink. I know how old he is. And he ain't 18 yet, but appreciate the sentiment of the cheers
it was
and beers.
great. It was great chatting with him too. He's a great young fella, and watch this space when it comes to his modelling.
And it's so good to see the youth, coming through, and that's what blew me away about Queensland. How many young people were sort of there, and families were there. That was just amazing, and it was a perfect example of the youth, and more than happy to encourage that.
Yep.
All righty. Now, Charles May wrote in, and if you recall, he was the winner of one of our Patreon Wheel of Fortunes.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, it is Wheel of Fortune. And he won the Horizon Scale Models rocket, which got sent to him. And he writes back and says, thanks again for the modeler. You got it on Saturday, and it's now on the workbench. Filling, sanding, and primer done. And he's actually posted some pictures, and he's been wanting this excuse to build these kits. And he had a great time building it. And it's all finished now, actually. And I've seen some pictures
cool.
on Facebook. And I'm glad that you had a good time building it, Charles.
Yes.
That's another one converted to the dark side.
Yes. And I reckon, speaking of that, I reckon we should have another roll of the wheel.
Yes. Okay, that sounds like a great idea. And this is going to be really, really exciting. Mm-hmm. So, our good friend, Lincoln Wright, his prize is a one-on-one session with the winner.
Oh.
And also a copy of one of his books as well.
Oh, score.
I know. So I'm really chuffed about this, and thanks, Link, for putting this up and being part of it.
That's huge.
It is. So shall we spin that, and we can see who's going to win that fantastic prize. And imagine having a one-on-one session with Lincoln.
Oh, it'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be fantastic. And the winner is
DD.
D wins.
Good on you.
Luton. Well, there you go. That's fantastic.
Oh, DD, we're so jealous.
All right. Let me write this down so I make sure I've got the right people for the right prize. So.
that would be an interesting interaction, I reckon.
Yeah. DD.
Because you know Lincoln talk.
You never had the pleasure of meeting DD, did you?
No.
DD, great person. It was so great to finally
this is up in
meet.
Queensland, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
So fantastic. Like, DD's been following us basically since day dot.
Mm-hmm.
And to actually finally meet DD and have a chat was just amazing. It really made part of what made that weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. DD, good on you.
And actually, that works out well, I think, for Link, because at least they're both in Australia, so the time difference is going to be really good. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. All right, let's have a listen to another one of our listeners.
Hi, this is Mark Ewing from Edinburgh, Scotland. Just want to say, congratulations, guys. What an achievement. 200th episode. Been a loyal follower since episode 4. And all the hints, tips and interviews and even insights into different genres like figure painting, ships, Warhammer, and also appreciation to Julian being a car builder like myself. You can't get enough car builders in this hobby. Good luck, guys, for a next 200.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. More cars. I don't have enough time to build as many cars as I would.
Yes. But no, thanks very much for the kind words, Mark. That's great.
It was really good.
Even right now, I haven't even finished the Mustang, but I'm trying to get another car done in time for next weekend.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but it is an 80s car, which makes it easier by me having to just paint black trim everywhere.
So
Black
it's just
trim.
a box with black trim.
No, it's not a box. It's a first gen RX-7.
Oh, okay.
You know the
Yeah,
the
the
70s
first-
era
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah,
I guess.
70s era
It
RX-7.
doesn't seem like a 70s era
Is that a
car.
kit?
No, it's
No.
a Hasegawa kit, and it's a
Oh, okay.
beautiful kit. Let me
Oh.
tell you. Oh, so it even like the way they've designed it. So the very front tip of the car comes off, and then you can slip something in there to flick up and open up the headlights.
Oh, wow.
Flip up the headlights.
That's pretty...
And then you just slip it back on.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. And they do in multiple...
Hey, good on you, Dave.
Oh, whatever, Dave. Yeah, it's just a really nice kit, like the way they've gone to all the trouble. The only thing it doesn't have is like an engine or something, which I'm fine with.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool, dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's listen to see what Matthew Gross has got to say.
Yes.
Hey guys, it's Matthew here from episode 188 of On the Bench. In space, no one can hear you scream, where we talked about my studio scale Nostromo build. I was just wanting to wish you guys all the best on the 200th episode, and we'll see you in Canberra for scale ACT. The weather's beautiful here in Bega, so congrats again, guys, and look forward to a lot more episodes in the future. Thanks, boys. Bye.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, me too.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Studio scale. The thing's huge to start with, so yeah.
You know what I reckon it would need?
What?
I reckon it needs the APC alongside it in the same scale, just so that you got an idea of like how big it is, right?
Yeah,
and maybe a figure beside that, right?
And a fog machine.
A fog machine.
Cool.
Just billowing smoke the whole time.
Just
the
a
whole weekend.
layer of smoke underneath it.
You just got like a semi of
some flashing lights.
Oh yeah. It'd be fun to take photos of, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, well we will be taking photos of it.
No, I mean
weekend.
like you set it up in like a dark room and everything.
Oh right, yeah, I know
That
what you
kind
mean.
of great.
Yeah,
That
You
kind
could
of
do
thing.
you could do a use it to do a fan film.
Yeah.
Like they do on YouTube.
Mm.
You know, for like Star Wars and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get Dave's the gears in Dave's head are grinding.
All right. What we got coming up next is what's going to be a regular, ongoing, monthly catch up with the guys from MWB, and we're going to be having a chat with Mr. Tim Holland, the current president. So have a listen. And what we're hoping is going to be, well, I know it's going to be a new regular part of the show, this segment, and we're looking to get a monthly update from Models Without Borders. And I'm pleased to announce that to help us with that, we're joined by the current president, Tim Holland. G'day, Tim. How you going?
Hey, good day, David. I'm doing real well.
Well, welcome to our 200th episode.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 200. Congratulations, guys. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Impressive. I don't even think I can count that high yet.
So, Tim, let the audience know what's been happening with Models Without Borders.
We've been busy, mostly putting together planning, but we figured out how to be able to go and create a call to arms, if you will, and pay for some continued ongoing efforts over the next longer if we get enough. And so I'm asking for founding supporters. These are folks that are basically going to be on the ground floor of supporting the organization and helping to get it started.
So in Navy parlance, that would be called a plank owner, would it not?
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. But I'm trying to use terms that other listeners might recognize, because not everybody knows what a plank owner is. When I mentioned it, in one discussion with some folks that weren't Navy, and they looked at me and they go, "What the heck is that?" And they just didn't get it. And when I explained to them what it was, it's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's important." And then they just wanted to move on in the discussion.
Okay, so foundation.
Something near.
So
something near and dear to my heart, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, just goes over the head of some folks.
So foundation members is what we're saying, and where can people go to find out about that?
Well, they can go to our website. It's modelers.org. That's 2 L's, modelers.org. And right there on the page, it'll say there's a place for donations. Go to our donations page, and there's a number of tiers that an individual can donate and be a founding supporter. And the nice thing is that depending on which tier you get, we'll give you gold status as a supporter, which is an annual thing that we're working on the details of. But at a minimum, that's the status that the individual would have. I think at the lowest level, I'd have to check. It's 1 year, and at the highest level, diamond, it's lifetime.
Wow, fantastic!
As well as we'll provide some swag. We're trying to figure out the details and designs of what that is. I'm expecting that at least one piece of swag will be a unique challenge coin, just for being a founding supporter.
Wow, that's fantastic. How's the rest of it been tracking with because it's almost like in some respects trying to build a plane while it's flying, hasn't it?
To some degree, it is. There's people expecting us to do things. We did go to SMC a couple of weeks ago. We had a table there, handed out some flyers, and talked to some people who have subsequently subscribed to our newsletter for regular updates. So, and by the way, you can do that on our website, modelers.org. Subscribe, and anytime we post an update there, you'll get that via email before we publish it up on Facebook or any other social media.
So any other news, Tim?
We're at the final stages of finishing up the exhibition and evaluation app requirements so that we know what, at a detail level, what we need the software to do in terms of interfacing with the necessary online, let's see, what did we call it? Association management system, which is where all the members would have their information, so that, as well as a content management system, so that everything's linked together. So specifically, a modeler goes to a show, they get some feedback. Here's the kind of things you need to improve on. They can then get some hot links to a number of videos or other educational things that can help them improve, as well as give them some advice on how to approach more senior modelers with experience and ask for. So that's one thing we're looking to do. That should probably be on the street by the end of November. And when it is on the street, that's when we'll start working on turning that into a contract. We'll come up with an RFP fairly shortly after that, and a request for proposals for anybody that doesn't know what that term means. And hopefully we'll have a contract in place early enough in the winter time, probably late winter, so that the application is fully tested, live, and ready to be used by next October.
Wow, sounds like things are moving forward. That's great to hear.
Yeah, and we're also looking to expand our organization. We're at a point where we know what kind of folks we need. I won't list off the people, but it's not hard to, or the roles, if you will. It's not hard to figure out what they probably are, but we're not ready to publish what the names are. But essentially, it'll be a call for volunteers, people with experience in those particular roles, and my hope is that we'll get a more than zero, hopefully more than one resume that says I'd like to do that, And in all cases, it would not be full time. We absolutely don't want to do full time because it is volunteer. People have day jobs. It's got to be something they can do in their spare time, and hopefully not take time away from the modeling bench.
That's great news,
so
Tim.
It'll be, yeah, and roles like that will be managing, other things as opposed to actually doing. Very little of it's going to be doing.
Sure. And, of course, if people go to modelswithoutborders.org, they'll be able to subscribe there and get updates, and that call to arms will definitely go out through those updates.
That's correct. They'll get that first, and then we'll post on other social media channels. Let's see, specifically the website you mentioned. Let's make sure that we're correct on it. It's modelers.org, not Modelers Without Borders.
Yes, correction.
we do have more than one domain that's registered, but we may, in Modelers Without Borders .org should have been one of them. I'd have to check off the top of my head. So your listeners are probably okay if they remember that and go to it. But we'll get there.
All right, Tim, thanks very much. And certainly looking forward to catching up with either yourself or maybe somebody else from the organisation next month to give us another update on how things are going with Modelers Without Borders. So thanks very much, mate, for being on the show.
All right. I appreciate being here.
No worries. Catch you later, mate. Bye.
All right. Bye.
It's great to catch up with Tim and find out how Models Without Borders is tracking. And as I said, it's going to be a regular monthly catch-up with the guys just to see what's happening. So we'll keep you up to date. Right, we got some more listeners yet who have sent in some voicemails for us. So let's have a listen to the next one.
Yeah, sounds good.
G'day, Ian and Dave. And hello, Julian. This is Owen from North Wales. I just wanted to leave this message to congratulate you for making the Big 200. It's quite a feat. I know you've given me lots of entertainment over the years and tips and advice, and I'm sure you have for thousands of other model makers too, so congratulations to all three of you. I've got a quick question for the three of you. It's to do with nerve-wracking model making experiences. I know my most nerve-wracking experience came recently with a resin pour, which I did for a First World War diorama to replicate water, which if it had gone wrong, it would have been 6 months' work down the pan. So my question to the three of you is, what is the most nerve-wracking experience that you've had in model making? Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Congratulations, guys. And let's hope you make it to 300. Bye.
Thanks, Owen. I'm just trying to think what would be my most nerve-wracking experience.
I already know what your one is.
What's that, Julian?
That time you were super gluing rigging on and it wrapped around the top.
Oh, yeah, doing the rigging on the USS England. Yes, because that's like a bird's nest of rigging around the main mast, and I was putting like a second or third last bit of rigging down from the top of the mast down to the deck, and it flicked and had a little dob of super glue on there, so all I'd do is hold it in place, but it came out of the tweezers and then just basically spun itself around the rest of the rigging and then glued. So I had to rip all the rig, like we're talking like nearly a week's worth of rigging had to be taken off and redone. And that's, rigging can be very nerve-wracking. Also, I find occasionally, even though I like photo etch, sometimes photo etch can be a little bit nerve-wracking when you got those tiny little bits.
Come on. I wanted you to say it. I wanted you to say, it's sometimes not your friend.
All right, sometimes it cannot be your friend. Another nerve-wracking one.
Well, what's that kind of? It's that kind of friend, who doesn't is a bit of an ass sometimes.
yeah, that's right. Sometimes building aftermarket 1 to 350 scale anti-aircraft guns.
Yeah,
I remember doing the ones for the Chicago. There would have been probably about 25 pieces on a 1/350 scale AAA set. And some of those bits are just so tiny. You can barely pick them up with tweezers. You've got to think, well, where am I going to put the freaking glue? And you worry about the glue like seeping up and then gluing it to the tweezers, which has happened so many times.
For me, it's every time I go to Deckel. I always find
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah, because you just cannot tell whether a decal is going to do what it did like the last time, and there's always a possibility of it ruining. Because with paint, you can go back and redo it.
Yeah.
With a decal, you kind of,
Yes.
this is it, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The door's open. You're about
I
to step
get
on the
it.
moon for the first time.
A lot of the time, that's my own fault in a lot of ways, because you know that there's always going to be things on the decal sheet that you don't use, and you should grab one of those and test it.
Yeah, but we're lazy.
I just wing it every time.
Yeah.
Every time I just wing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the dumbest thing, because I'm exactly like you. I wing it every time, and I've got a mule sitting in there that I can test it first, but I don't for some reason. I just go, I just put it on. And then if
Dave just licks it, puts it down for a minute or two, and he grabs his thumb and shoves it on there.
I mean, like the most recent rockets I finished building, the first one that I finished, the decals went on fine, and then the second one I put on, the decals all ran because there was no, the colours just ran, and I'm going, oh my god!
And
I didn't have, and there was no test ones I could use. You only had 3 decals.
Yeah. Like I've had.
How was I to know?
Yeah, and also I remember once doing an aircraft and putting decals on the tail, and the left-hand decal went on perfectly. The right-hand decal just destroyed itself.
See, that's what happens sometimes, man.
You're like, well, what do I do now?
I know. Yeah, decals are the most, even now, still, it's the most nail-biting part of modelling for me.
It's because near the end.
Another one.
Point taken.
Another one when you're doing like a bomber aircraft and taking the masking off the canopies and just holding your breath and hoping there's no fogging in behind there.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than taking the mask off a canopy of an enclosed aircraft and going, fog. Remember I had that with me Lancaster.
But with the Lancaster, though, you had the potential opportunity to pop the whole canopy off and clean it and then pop it back down. If it was something like a B-17 Flying Fortress, there's no way you're going to get that clear glass out once you put it in.
But the way I got away with it on the Lancaster,
and you have a crack at me with the English language,
was I got a long bit of wire and went up through the Bombay, and on the end of the wire I had like a tiny bit of cloth on there and just polished it from the inside.
It was giving his model an enema.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, come on, Dave. You got to keep it a bit clean. Come on.
Well, it was clean after that.
Oh my, the dad jokes are coming out quick now.
How about we have a listen from somebody else?
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez.
Congrats, Dave, Ian, and Julian on the 200th episode of On the Bench. It's Paul Gloucester here. You really are the only podcast that helps us modelers eradicate everything from seam lines to possums. But seriously, since listening to you guys, I've made more modeling friends, including Photo Etch Ian, and I've experienced so much more modeling from around the world while never having to leave the comfort of my own bench. So thanks for all the good times so far. Keep up the amazing work and inspiration, and here's to the next 200 episodes. Cheers, fellas.
The Quokka has spoken.
Yes, no, he's great guy, great guy. I'm loving his new build too with the 2 Ansons.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I can't wait to see that finished.
I cannot wait to see that finished.
Nothing like seeing one Anson sitting on top of another Anson.
You know, he's that good a modeler that you just want to go and punch him in the face. He's that good.
What?
Because he's so damn good.
He's darn good. He's especially 70. The stuff he does in 70-second scale just shames 48 and 30-second scale.
Yeah.
I got something to say. So just a second ago, Ian was like, "Have you met Paul Gloucester?" I bump into him everywhere we go.
Oh, well, there you
everywhere.
go.
I haven't been to a model show in years where I haven't bumped into Paul Gloucester. Right? He says like, "Oh, experienced so much modeling despite without having to leave my bench." He leaves his bench all the time.
That's funny. Kentucky Dave calls him the Quokka, but I call him the Scarlet Pimpernel of modelling. You see him here, you see him there, you see him everywhere.
Yes.
You go overseas and there he is. It's like how?
It's called cloning.
It's like he has access to teleportation or something, right?
And his wife makes really nice cookies.
Oh, the peanut butter cookies.
Yeah, the peanut butter cookies.
Yeah,
Great. Yeah,
nice, yum.
I'm glad you.
All right, let's have another listen to somebody else.
Yeah.
Good morning, all. Paul Pendleton-Brown from Sutton near Liverpool in the UK here. Thought I'd take a slightly different tack with my message, so please bear with me. It'll be worth it in the end, I promise. On the 23rd of July 2017, two complete strangers entered our collective lives from Australia when episode 1 of a radical new concept for our hobby, a podcast all about scale modelling, dropped. On the Bench had arrived. Unlike Julian, who was late and didn't appear until episode 5 as a guest host and hasn't left since, but that's obviously another story. The Clarkson, Hammond and May of the model world have since clocked up an unbelievable 200 episodes, plus a few specials, or in other words 333 hours and 21 minutes of content for us, which is nearly 14 days of non-stop yakking. And yes, I did add it all up. With such content from our beloved hobby colleagues as glue sniffing, working with hairy sticks and discussing tanks on planks, amongst many, many other subjects over the years. As a service to humanity, I recently took one for the team and listened to some of the early episodes. So you, the listeners, don't have to. And Dave's ability, even way back in episode 1, to stuff up names and make predictions like announcing an exclusive to OTB in episode 1, that Airfix were releasing a brand new 1/350th scale HMS Queen Elizabeth, as they'd not produced any new ships for a while, has weathered really well. Please, Dave, never change. Who thought back then that such a visual hobby like model making would transfer to a podcast as well as it has? With the help and encouragement of the Podfather and others, we now have 14 pods that we can follow that are followed in your collective footsteps. But you were the first, and still the best. Other opinions may vary, but in the words of Jeremy Clarkson, they are wrong. Although it seems like a lifetime ago now, you three became even closer to your audience during the pandemic. By going weekly and chatting to your friends across the world, and in return the vast majority of us felt like we gained new best friends that we'd known for a very long time, even though the vast majority of us had never had the pleasure of meeting you guys in person. And who can forget the now retired Falcon, who gave us so much hope with new release news and what was going to break our banks in the future, and the immense comedy value of all the German tank names that Dave had a hope in hell of pronouncing correctly. Oh, how I missed that part of the pod. I still can't help but feel you three have done more in the last 7 years with this pod than IPMS has achieved internationally since it was formed in 1963. By establishing a regular worldwide forum and resource for us modelers, and it was most definitely an opportunity missed as technology evolved for them. Hopefully, Modelers Without Borders will make regular guest spots on some of the pods to become more grassroots with potential members. I'll get off my soapbox now. Anywho, on behalf of us, the listening masses, hopefully you will have been joined by the fourth and silent member of the OTB crew, the long-suffering Mrs. G, with some glasses and a bottle of something cold and bubbly. I thought I'd send down some cans of Forex, but I didn't think you Aussies would know how to spell it. So you'll have to make do with a glass of Moët and Chandon instead. And you have no idea how difficult this was to organise from the UK. So Dave, Ian, Julian, and Mrs. G, please raise a glass to celebrate your achievement from us, your grateful audience, to yourselves on a job bloody well done. Cheers, guys, but remember, chinking glasses is so common and not the correct etiquette. This is an audio recording, so I'll let you off just this once. Congratulations on episode 200, and may OTB never end.
Oh, I'll just wipe that tear from my eye. That was some really nice words. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, that's awesome. And,
Yes.
and can't wait to crack that bottle of champagne. And Mrs. G is very happy because Ian and Julian don't drink champagne.
But
we
will have a glass. We will have a glass.
Chilling in the fridge as we speak.
Yes.
Looking forward to popping that cork. And that was very nice of you to
send that.
To send that. Yeah.
Yes, it's very much appreciated. And thank you very much for those really kind words, Paul. It's
Yeah, I actually thought at the start it sort of seemed like it was going to be laid on very, very thick, but I'm glad it stayed fairly lightweight.
It is very good. No, it's very well put. Thank you.
All right, let's have a listen to another one.
Yeah.
Hey boys, Perrin here from Melbourne, long time listener, first time caller. I just wanted to congratulate you fellas on the 200 episodes, and thanks for all the episodes so far, and thanks for all the episodes coming. I'm a young modeller, 26, from Canberra originally, but living in Melbourne now. And I just wanted to thank you guys for encouraging young modelers and all modelers to get involved with the hobby and actually attend meetings and shows and community events and stuff, because it was something I was just doing on my own. And thanks to you guys and the extended podcast sort of network that you've built, I've really been getting more involved with the community and events and clubs and stuff, and it's really changed the hobby for me, so I appreciate it. Right, thanks boys. Here's for another 200 and good luck.
Thanks, Perrin, and appreciate that. And just as an FYI, Perrin also is a member of our local club.
Yes.
And I tried my darndest to boost that sound there, and it's as high as I can get it.
Yep.
Yeah. I know, like, I can't hear his voice without him, picturing his face, right? Because he's in our model club.
I know.
And, yeah.
Okay, we've got a few more to go, and before we get to another big prize that I'm really excited about pushing out. So.
G'day guys, this is Sammy from Melbourne. Big congrats on 200 episodes of On the Bench. I've just started listening since a few episodes ago, and it's really good to have on while I'm either on my way to work or making a diorama at home. If all goes well, I'll see you guys at Scale Act. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, looking forward to catching up with you, buddy.
Interesting, he's got the same surname as Michelle's maiden name.
Oh.
So I wonder if they're related somehow.
Well, there you go. You could have a long-lost relative out there.
Yeah, I should ask her. Do you know a Sammy Pearson? Actually, I should ask her dad, because he's here today.
Yeah, there you go.
He's out there having breakfast with us before.
Yes.
All right. We've got another couple to go before we get to another big Patreon Wheel of Fortune spin. So let's roll right into the next one.
Well, hey there, guys. This is Sean Vale Rhodes from Richmond, Virginia, coming to you from Sean's model building spot. Just want you to know that myself and Pumpkin, the model building spot mascot cat, want to congratulate you on 200 modeling podcasts. Quite an achievement. Just want you guys to know that I really, really enjoy listening to you. You are the OGs of the modeling podcast community. Your lighthearted banter and your knowledge are always well appreciated by me. And hopefully next year I'll get to meet you in person at the 2025 IPMS Nationals in Hampton, Virginia. So again, congratulations on 200 podcasts and raising a glass of Johnny Walker Blue Label. And here's to 200 more.
Thanks for that, Sean. I'm not sure that we've ever had a cat sort of thank us.
Yeah.
Pumpkin the cat.
Pumpkin the cat.
Must be a ginger. It's going to be a ginger.
Yeah, to be Pumpkin. Yeah, yes. I'd say so, yes. Yes, definitely.
Not sure I'm going to be there in 2025. So 2026 I'm working towards that, but 2025 might be a bit of a stretch for me next year.
Yeah. But thanks for the really kind words there, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really appreciate it, buddy.
Radio. Getting down to the wire.
Hi, this is Stewart Clark of the Scale Model Podcast, wishing Dave, Ian, and Julian a happy 200th episode of On the Bench. May you have another 200, and may you continue to provide modelers all over the world with news, views, all sorts of information, and a lot of laughs. Again, congratulations, guys.
Thanks, Stewart.
And I've got to say, Stewart and I think he came out with his podcast about
very shortly after
very
us.
shortly, if not a couple of weeks after,
yeah,
if not the week after. It was almost like we'd both had the idea at the same time, and we've been great friends ever since then.
Yeah,
and,
he's a fantastic fellow, isn't he?
He is, and I've just got to send my best thoughts and wishes out to him because I know that his wife's going through some medical issues at the moment, and that he's paused his podcast so he can fully concentrate on that.
Well, fair enough, too.
And our thoughts are with you, Stewart, and your family, and we're just sending you our best wishes for a speedy recovery for your wife.
Yes,
and,
definitely.
Yep.
Definitely, mate.
All right. Next up, well, before we go to the next one, I thought I'd just roll off a few stats. So we've done 200 episodes now. We've got over 800,000 downloads. Our largest audience in order is the US, followed by Australia, then the UK, Canada, New Zealand, and then it's a mix-up who comes next after that. But surprisingly, it's the Baltic states. It's the Nordic states, I should say.
Yes.
Like Norway and Finland and Denmark and Sweden. Got a huge listener base in all of those countries, which blows me away. But it shouldn't because...
And they are such awesome modelers.
Yeah, well, and what's even more annoying is they speak better English than I speak Swedish. See, I've got it right again.
Yeah, Swedish.
Been to Sweden. I've been to Gothenburg. Most beautiful place you ever go. If you ever want to go for a trip somewhere, think about going to Sweden. And I have no doubts that Norway and Denmark are very similar, as well as Finland as well. And I wouldn't mind getting up there again to go and visit because it's just such a beautiful country.
Even go to some of their model shows.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that they got great beer, they got great food, and a great outlook on life. So. South Africa is another one of those small countries where it's got quite a small but large and strong loyal listener base.
Yep.
And Japan is another one that sort of pops up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Germany is another big one. France is small, unfortunately.
Wow.
But yeah, there's a few stats off the top of my head, and then all the rest sort of follow in and sort of slot in.
You know what I've quite liked about this episode is actually hearing some of our listeners and hearing the different accents.
Yes.
That's some feedback coming through my microphone then.
Yeah, hearing the various different accents, even amongst the North Americans and the different people in the UK, and it's
It's
quite
great because
interesting. It really sort of
it shows how worldwide the audience
exactly.
is.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Which is very cool.
All right, let's hear another one.
Yep.
Good morning, gents. It's Wesley here from Cape Town, South Africa. Just wanted to wish you congratulations on your 200th episode. I've been listening for a good few years now and enjoy every single episode that you guys release, and looking forward to the next 200. Cheers.
See, I'm just talking about South Africa, and there's one of our loyal listeners from South Africa.
Yes.
How's that?
Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wonderful. All right, let's roll into our next Patreon Wheel of Fortune. But before I do that, I need to have a cough and just clear my throat. I'm getting dry from talking so much. And this comes from our good mate Stewart Rolfe, who runs Black Hat Scale Model YouTube channel. And he writes in, "Greetings, fine gentlemen. Well. 200 episodes in 7 years. Who would have thought that you could actually talk that much on a podcast about a visual hobby? As it turns out, 14 days, according to Paul. You gents are masters in the truest sense, and congratulations on a significant milestone. Now, I think it's worth noting that some of your listeners have been here since the very beginning, and many of the rest of us for some years. Usually we sit in the background and marvel at the subject matter that you come up with. So I got to thinking about all those little listeners, and since armour modelling is the one true model genre, I might assist you and provide a reward for those listeners who also love armour. So what Stewart is going to do is he is going to build, the winner gets to choose what Stewart builds, a 35th scale armour subject.
Yep.
He will videotape that as a... Videotape it, you idiot. He will put it on his YouTube channel, the actual build. And then, not only does the winner who chose a model, he actually gets that model sent to him
as
a final gifting.
It's a good thing you left this one to last, right?
It just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? Wow.
So shall we see who the winner of this one is going to be?
Definitely.
And what a great idea.
Oh, I'm stunned. Absolutely stunned.
All right. And the winner is Alex Fernandez.
Alexander Fernandez. Congratulations. Oh, good score, mate.
Okay. I will put you in touch with Stewart, and we'll see what...
Yes. Challenge him, Alexander. Challenge him.
Don't do anything hard or silly. If you're going to challenge him, what's the worst one you'd give him to do?
I have no idea.
I mean, you could get really outrageous with that, and you could get really... I mean, like, there's some really elaborate and expensive kits out there, so obviously that's asking too much. Right?
Yes. No, I understand what you mean.
And at the end of the day, it's going to be something Alexander wants in his collection as well.
Yes.
So,
and what's going to be feasible to ship, depending where Alexander's hails from.
Yeah, that's another...
Yeah, so you got to think beyond those.
Stuart, thanks very much, mate, for being part of the show and for helping us...
yes, thank you very much.
With that fantastic prize.
Very generous of you.
And, and indeed, thanks to everybody who's contributed. Thanks to Clayton from Workbench Hobbies. Thanks to Link from his page.
Paint on Plastic.
That's the one. I was getting there. I had it down in the notes.
Okay.
And, of course, Stewart Rolfe for actually being part of the show. Yes. And don't forget to go and check out his fantastic YouTube channel as well, which is Black Hat Scale Models.
Yes.
And he drops quite regularly as well. And we're just so blessed to have some fantastic modelers within Australia who produce such great content that we can all go and have a look at.
Yes,
and
totally agree, Dave.
Builds a wonderful community, but also international community as well, because everybody from overseas and around the world, in this day and technological age, you can just go and be part of it now.
Yeah,
it's a
just,
beautiful thing.
It's an amazing era we live in.
So Stuart finishes up with his email is, hope you guys have another 200 in you. It's wonderful to see the OG team still banging out episodes of sage advice, I don't know about that, and bringing our magnificent hobby to life every fortnight. Keep it up, please, gents. Well done. That's regards from Stuart.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. We are just about ready to close it off because we've covered everything off. I've got to say, this thing where people actually send in the message has been such a great success. So I'm going to continue it on there. I'll go back in and in the show notes, I'll just change the name of it. But from now on, people can not only send us emails to onthebench64@gmail.com, but if they click on a link in the show notes, they can also just leave a message or a question, and we'll play them from each episode moving forward.
It's becoming like talkback radio.
Yes, I'm listening.
You're on the air.
Yes, put on your best Fraser Crane voice.
As long as it doesn't turn into a show like Call Me Misty, and I'll be...
Yes, just watch out for that one car that sits out the front of your house.
Oh, gosh. Guys, just in closing up, I just want to ask you guys, what have your highlights been during these 200 episodes over all these years? So I'll start with you, Julian.
Wow, that's putting me on the spot.
Highlights. Yeah, what's your highlight of the 200?
Oh, I mean, you're asking the wrong person because I can't remember.
It's just a highlight getting out of bed in the morning for you, isn't it?
I'll talk to Brian, right? I'll talk to Brian and say, oh yeah, we just recorded an episode yesterday, and then I'll draw a blank on what we talked about. I can't remember what happened the last previous day, much less.
Well, you know, goldfish.
Yeah, basically. Once I get up out of this chair and leave, it's all gone. It just gets deleted in my head.
You did well at school, didn't you?
Clear memory space.
No, I did not. I wish I had a better memory, but no, my memory's terrible. Let me think. Oh, I don't think I can think of anything in particular. I mean,
all right, well,
I just think back and I can vaguely remember some of the builds I've done and things like that. And
what about you, Ian?
Me? I reckon one of the big highlights was back at the IPMS Nats we went to when we got to sit on that panel.
Yeah, that was
in
cool.
front of the audience and had the whole audience stand up and give us a standing ovation, and that really hit home to me how big we'd gotten. Before then, it was like, we just three bozos who like talking crap about model kits, and then going to the States and people asking like signed autographs for God's sakes, and selfies and so forth, and just the way we were treated, it just really showed that what we were doing was actually giving something back to the community. Yeah, that really was a major highlight for me.
I remember that part now. I wasn't sure if I should mention that because I mean it's easier to mention the events than it is to mention the regular podcast episodes, which I thought was what you were getting at. It was bizarre, to be honest. Getting into the elevator at the hotel, which was next to the convention center, and people are sort of they'll get into the elevator with you, and then you see their eyes drop down to the name tag, and then they see that it says Melbourne, Australia, or whatever it was.
Yeah,
like, oh, you guys are the podcasters, because who else is going to attend from Australia, right?
Yeah. Paul Gloucester.
Yeah,
and also all those people that thanked us for what we did during the pandemic. I honestly didn't realise how significant that was.
Yeah.
I thought, we're just doing it, and people were just thanking us. Oh, you saved our lives. You did this, and it's like we just three bozos talking about model kits.
You know what? It was very different for us because, like, for the listeners, they just heard us talking every week.
Yeah.
But for us, it was like, this was that crappy period where we couldn't come in here and have breakfast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yes.
That's why we were getting up early morning and then just sitting in our room at home, just talking to a microphone by ourselves, kind of thing.
Not getting the continental breakfast
that
we deserve.
Like, I remember those as being the lamest episodes to record because of that.
Because we bounce off each other when we were
exactly. Like it felt so forced to make those episodes.
Yeah, it did. I don't know how the other guys do it with their podcasts, and they're all separate. Yeah,
must be difficult.
Oh, yeah, but
they do it.
They do it.
But they do it, and they do a good job.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
they do a very good job.
Wow.
I would really like for all of our fellow podcasters to have that opportunity to record an episode in person, like we do.
Yeah,
it really is a luxury, to be honest.
It is.
Mind you, it'd be difficult because some of these podcasts, they got like people in Europe, America, Canada,
Actually,
New Zealand, Australia, and to get all those people together, it'd be a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, it would. But then they'd also never be able to go back to it, so maybe they shouldn't experience that.
Yes, that could be it too. Yeah.
Well, there's a whole heap of other wonderful podcasts out there, and we wish them that they all reach their 200th episode as well.
Yes,
and to check out these other fantastic podcasts. Stewart Clark has put up a website called modelpodcast.com, and there's a whole listing there of all the fantastic podcasts that we encourage you to go and listen to. All the other ones, there's some car ones, Mates that Built Sideways, the Geeks, and of course there's the Posse and the Plastic Model Mojo. Oh my God, I still can't get over that, what they've sent us.
Oh, it's awesome.
Them and Rock Rozak, what they've done, that is just an amazing gift.
Yeah,
it truly
absolutely
is. I'm just so touched by that.
Yeah,
me
too.
Am. I can't wait to go out and buy a frame and hang it up now.
Yes,
in the studio.
I'm in the same boat. Yes, I'm actually thinking on the way out of here, I might go to the local shopping centre and get a frame for it.
I haven't got that luxury until Monday, but for me, the highlights, I guess, has been the community that it's not built. I think the community's always been there, but it's being able to sort of bring it together under a one banner, I guess, and. When we travel interstate, when we travel around the world, everybody's just so hospitable and friendly.
Yes.
It's a very, I'm struggling to sort of put the words, but wherever you go around the world as a modeler, you're welcomed with open arms.
Yes.
And you're treated as if you're just a mate down the corner that you haven't seen for ages and ages. And that is something very special about
the camaraderie aspect.
Yeah, well, that's right. You go to you might be from overseas and you go to a local hobby shop. And as soon as they hear your accent and find out where you are, everyone wants to talk to you.
Yes. But even like our experience in Canberra when we first went there, and our experience in Queensland, and New Zealand, the guys are hanging out for us to get over there, and it's wherever you go, it's just like you're mates, and you've always have been mates, and that's what's so special about this hobby, the way it sort of creates this community. Yes, there's it's like a family, I guess, and some of you have your arguments here and there and that, but the overwhelming experience, the 99.999% of the experience is one of this fantastic community, and it's just wonderful, and it's
fully agree.
It's a nice, beautiful side benefit of the little things that we build. It's really wonderful.
Totally agree.
Well, it can only improve.
Yes, and just on a side note,
yes,
I was, sometimes you're sitting at home and there's nothing really. You don't feel like actually modelling, and so you go to your collection, you pull out some kits, and you rummage through the boxes.
Yeah.
Well, last night I wanted to look at all my M3 Stewart kits. And I took down the one that I remember I picked up when we were in Hawaii.
Yes.
When Julian spotted that.
Yes.
That little hobby shop.
Yeah. And we had an accident trying to get to it.
Yes. And that thing, first time in its life, I actually undid the plastic wrapper and opened it up and got that new kit smell.
Oh, really?
From a 1970s kit. It was great. Absolutely lovely.
Well, look at you. You're giddy like a little kid.
It was good. I like that when you take the plastic wrapper off, and
to think that something
that
40 or 50 years after you started still gets you as excited as the first time you did it. That's pretty special, isn't it?
Yep.
That's really special.
Means we enjoy the hobby.
Yes,
it is. All right, let's bring this home. 200. Wow, what an achievement, guys! It's been my absolute pleasure and joy to have you as mates on the show.
Oh, same here, Dave.
Yes,
been a great journey so far.
Looking forward to the next 200.
Yep.
And to all our listeners, our supporters, our hosts, thank you very much for being part of this experience and continuing to be part of this experience.
Because without you, we are nothing.
Exactly right. All our wonderful Patreon supporters, just thank you so much for everything you've done, and we look forward to your continued support moving forward.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yep. Onwards and upwards.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right, gents. Time to sign off.
Adios, everybody.
Okay. Julian.
And actually, photo.
Still can't get this right after 200 episodes.
And just to go back for a bit of nostalgia, photo etch is your friend.
It isn't. It is not. And this was that one episode where you admitted that it wasn't always your friend.
I just had to throw a bit of nostalgia in there.
Come on. Oh, well, I'm just going to say goodbye, because, I'm not one to stuff around with these things.
Guys, thank you very much for being with us on this wild ride, and we'll be back in a fortnight. Thanks very much.